Hello and welcome to my channel. Today, I'll be explaining a Chinese film about young love called Sweet Combat. Please sit back and enjoy. In the first scene, we meet Fang Yu, who is the best MMA fighter for women in the state. She has only just started fighting in official matches, but so far she hasn't lost a single one. Her recent big win made the news, which made her even more popular. In a flashback, we see Fang Yu telling her wealthy businessman grandfather that she wants to be a fighter. As a child, she was always expected to help with the family business, which made her grandfather very sad. We then meet Ming Tian, a young man who lives in Macau. He has two younger siblings who are in middle school right now. Ming Tian is in charge of the kids because their mother left them and their father died. His brother loves to watch mixed martial arts, MMA, fights on TV. His favorite fighter is Fang Yu, who he calls the Queen. Ming Tian had to quit college and start working as a delivery guy at a local restaurant so he could help support his younger siblings. He is doing his best to get into a good college with a scholarship so he can keep learning. At work, he is asked one day to bring food to a local martial arts master. The job is hard because the location is 20 minutes away, but the person who is getting the food wants it in less than 15. We see Ming Tian's great sense of direction when he's under a lot of stress. He has pretty much memorized every street and shortcut in the city, which helps him do his job well. When he's almost there, he sees a poor street vendor trying to pick up fruits that fell off her cart. As he helps her, the cart runs down the street, and MMA fighter Fang Yu kicks the cart to stop it from going any further. It hurts more than it helps because the cart breaks and all the fruit is ruined. When the vendor asks her to say sorry, she just gives her a bunch of money to cover the damage and walks away. Mingxin gets mad at the girl for being rude, but he keeps going to make the delivery. Then, Fang Yu goes to her old martial arts teacher to ask for help. Her family wants her to quit MMA and work with them in their business. She wants him to decide for her, but the teacher says he can't because it's her choice. When Mingxin shows up and says that the person who ordered the food is also Fang's martial arts teacher, you look at each other, but you don't say anything to each other before you go your separate ways. Ming Tian gets an email from a college in another state offering him a 70% scholarship while he is on his way to the restaurant. The college is in a different state. He doesn't know if he should move to school or stay in Macau because his siblings are already used to living there. He goes to a wisdom fountain and asks the universe to show him the way out of the problem. At the same time, Fang Yu is doing the same thing on the other side of the fountain. After giving it some thought, they come to a decision. Fang Yu decides to keep fighting, while Ming Tian plans to move to a different state. Ming Tian's boss is a nice guy who helps him move and gives him a job as a delivery person. If Ming Tian needs money or other things, he gives them to him. In the next scene, Ming Tian and his siblings move into a new house, even though the neighborhood isn't the best. The place feels like home, and the kids seem to like it, which makes Ming Tian happy in the end. He puts a picture of himself and his master on a shelf as the first piece of decor. It turns out that he used to box with the master before the master died. After that, Ming Tian takes his children to school, starts his new job at KFC, and then goes to college for the first time. He is going to the best college for sports in the state. This is an all-girls college, and Ming Tian will be one of the first guys to go to ZhengZe. When he walks in, he realizes that he may be the only guy in a college full of hundreds of girls. He starts to wonder if he misread the offer letter because there are no men at this school. The only man is interesting to the girls, and the fact that he is also very attractive doesn't help. He bumps into Xiaomi as he walks. Xiaomi is a tomboyish student who loves to skate and box. He runs into Xiaomi, a tomboyish student who enjoys skating and boxing, as he suddenly turns to walk. Ming Tian misidentifies her as a man and immediately starts gushing about how happy he is to have found another man. Yet Xiaomi just introduces herself after attaching a little pink clip to her hair rather than correcting him. The president and Mr. Wang, a teacher, are concerned because initially, 10 men had applied to the college, but after taking a tour and seeing only ladies, they all sought a transfer. Ming Tian, who is horrified, apologizes before skating away. Ming Tian is the sole person left at the moment. The president instructs Mr. Wang to take any necessary steps to make the man happy in order to prevent his departure. They aim to broaden the college's perspectives, and having male students will significantly contribute to that. Because to Ming Tian, the girls outside start acting up. They obstruct him and provide assistance that he obviously doesn't require. Who gets to drive Ming Tian to the principal's office sparks a fight between one of the girls and Xiaomi. Only when he tricks them into turning away and flees does the conflict come to a conclusion. While he is there, he runs into Fang Yu and knows right once that she is the obnoxious Macau girl. She scrapes his hand with her luggage by mistake and gives him cash so he can put a bandage on it. She is acting so materialistically that Ming Tian is outraged and wants an apology, but to Fang Yu, money is more important than an apology. Before departing, Ming Tian calls her a mannerless freak, which causes Fang Yu to remember a traumatic event from her youth. In a flashback, it is revealed that Fang Yu kicked the cart that day to protect a young child who was about to cross the road in front of them. Despite her good intentions, the street vendor lost face because of it. Ming Tian seems plainly uncomfortable as he sits with many girls, but despite his discomfort, the girls can't help but stare at him. The college's boxing club is where Xiaomi and Fang Yu are currently engaging in joint training. They are discovered to be best buddies who like boxing together. When asked, Xiaomi notices that Fang Yu is bothered by something. Fang Yu believes that the new guy's critical remarks caused her to reconsider her actions. The next scene finds her at home contemplating Ming Tian, but a flashback reveals that when she was younger, her parents were reluctant to accept that she was a girl. She was raised as a son since they had always desired a son. She was not permitted to grow her hair out or dress girly. Only after the birth of her younger brother did her innocent mind realize that she was a girl. Her parents only let her wear dresses once he was born. She went to her crush and gave him a gift since she was ecstatic to be able to express herself at last. She was referred to as a freak by her pals because they all believed she was a boy. She was so upset by the incident that she is still having gender identity issues. At Ming Tian's residence, in the meantime, his brother awakens in his sleep and starts to punch the air. Before discovering that the girl with whom he was arguing is his brother's favorite, Ming Tian chuckles at his charm. He reflects that earlier that day, when he should have been more patient, Fang Yu's eyes reminded him of those of his mother. Ming Tian finds it difficult to focus on his studies in college because the girls bug him constantly. Ming Tian, on the other hand, is preparing to transfer to another college even if they offer a lower percentage of the tuition assistance. Wang, on the other hand, is thrilled that he opted to stay. The distinctive quality that makes the college special is the variety of its clubs. Comparatively speaking, the students spend more time in the clubs than they do studying. Their abilities are developed in the clubs and displayed on a global scale. Several girls participate in boxing, taekwondo, gymnastics, and other sports. In the boxing club are Feng Yu and Xiaomi. Freshmen are urged to explore each club before deciding which one they want to join. When Ming Tian visits the boxing gym during the tour, he observes Xiaomi and Feng Yu engaged in combat. He is enthralled by Feng Yu's mastery of techniques that are very similar to his own. He ignores the idea that she must have studied under the same teacher. They believe that the girls bully one another and even forced Ming Tian to attend their clubs for these reasons. To remove them, Ming Tian decides to join the swimming club despite his disinterest in it. One with the least number of members. He boldly enters the pool and dives in while he waits for the teachers to show up, but oddly enough, the pool is stocked with a number of fish. He is told by a woman that the club has been shut down due to poor membership and that the pool has been transformed into an ecological pool. Ming Tian decides to transfer to another college even though it will result in higher tuition costs because this is the final straw. He expresses his worries to Mr. Wang, who urges him to stay. Mr. Wang even snaps a picture of Ming Tian and posts it in front of the men's restroom that is being built down the hall, but the honor is insufficient to convince Ming Tian to stay. Mr. Wang admits that the transfer procedure is relatively simple after receiving numerous requests. He must complete a form and mail it to the college's filing cabinet. When Ming Tian attempts to post the form, he runs into a small issue despite doing as instructed. He is stopped by a group of women who identify themselves as the college's original graduates. To prevent Ming Tian from gaining access to the file box, they have been informally appointed by the president. He is easily defeated by the skilled women, who then return him to Mr. Wang's office. The instructor gives Ming Tian a better deal but refuses to let him transfer. He offers to reduce the length of his school loan repayment to 30 years, interest-free. With his current financial situation, Ming Tian doesn't want to pass up the opportunity to attend school for free. He still feels too much pressure from being the sole guy among hundreds of girls. He decides to think about the suggestion later. Ming Tian goes to a restroom to change, but it's a women's restroom. A nude Fang Yu who he runs into kicks him to the ground. Xiaomi enters as the two are having a disagreement and suspects they are up to something suspicious. Ming Tian leaves after the two part ways. The next scene shows Xiaomi, Fang Yu, and their adversary from the Taekwondo class squabbling over who gets the last scoop of the strawberry flavor at the ice cream shop. Meanwhile, Ming Tian is on his way to deliver meals when she notices a bully dragging a boy across the street. He aids the child in fleeing but is later apprehended by the bullies. They drag him to a field and taunt him there till the girls show up. At first, they attempt to resolve the issue through conversation, but the bullies soon become physically aggressive. They start fighting. The girls and Ming Tian eventually succeeded in chasing them away after a protracted and interesting struggle. Because of the girls, Ming Tian becomes friends with them after the incident and is incredibly appreciative of them. Although he may encounter difficulties along the way, he doesn't appear to think college life is all that horrible. He makes the decision to forego the transfer and remain at ZhengZe. He accepts Mr. Wang's offer the very following day, much to the teacher's satisfaction given his new buddies and benefits. Ming Tian anticipates 4 years of trouble-free college life. For more content like this, subscribe. Please assist the channel out by turning on notifications and leaving a like. Thanks for watching.